Mike. Yes, everyone, welcome to Manchester United versus Chelsea FA Cup preview. Thank you guys for joining us. If you've not already gone and seen it, I definitely recommend checking out the podcast with Wes Brown, which I uploaded earlier today. I'm a little bit biased, but I think it's an absolute cracker. During that, Wes talks about who he thinks better out of the 99 and 2008 sides, who he idolised growing up, the hardest player that he's played against, all the sort of questions that you want to hear from him. We have got some serious top guests lined up as well. This is on the back of having Quinton Fortune last week as well. And if you want to know who's coming up and get your questions into them, then it's all about the Patreon group. The link below for that if you are interested in joining. We're almost at 500 now, and we are going for 1,000 Patreon members before the end of the season. But let's get into it. We are playing Chelsea. It is the FA Cup. Now, Chelsea come into this on the most maddening, indifferent form that it would possibly be for a team to have. I mean, I look at what they've done recently and you go, okay, beat Tottenham, not bad. It was in the EFL Cup, but it's not a bad result. Slap Sheffield Wednesday around, all right, it's the FA Cup. Sometimes you get a lesser drawn team if you're not United, and they've slapped them around, happy days. Then they lose 4-0 to Bournemouth 3 days later and you go, okay, that's a strange one. Then they go to Huddersfield and they put 5 past them and you go, okay, that's a good performance, good way to bounce back. Then City put 6 past them, 4 in 25 minutes, and they absolutely blown them out of the water. And then they have the Thursday night game against Malmo, where they managed to pull a victory out of it 2-1. You go, right, what's going on with this Chelsea side? How the hell are they going to find any sort of consistency? Is it their place we're going to take permanently inside that top 4? Is Sarri going to still be around? I assume that considering that they didn't sack him on Monday or Tuesday means that he's in for the foreseeable future. But this Chelsea team it's a strange one. And they seem to repeat this cycle time and time again where the player power in there, some people level it at Eden Hazard, some people level it at Cesc Fabregas, but considering the way Mourinho ended it here at United and the issues that he had with certain players there at Chelsea, and knowing what actually went on and the rumours of what went on with the likes of Pogba, he was calling Paul Pogba the virus. Pogba doesn't look like a virus now, and I was hearing from players inside the squad, Pogba was not the virus. Pogba was actually trying to unite the players. I wonder if is it a personality clash. I wonder is it the players have got too much power, have got too much say in what goes on with the managers at Chelsea, because Chelsea is the strangest football team. Since Roman Abramovich has been there, the fact that he likes to get rid of a manager like this just constantly has led them to have this such wildly inconsistent sort of reign where they can be excellent, and that you go through the starting 11 of Chelsea and you go, there's a lot of players that walk into the United team, a lot of players, and then some players people consider to be the best in the Premier League. Start of the season, Hazard was the best player in the Premier League, according to everyone. You probably find nobody saying that at the moment. So what is it about this Chelsea team where they just absolutely implode? Do they need a complete clean sweep, get rid of everybody and start again? I think that's probably what they need, but I don't think you're ever going to get to see that while Roman Abramovich is still in charge, because I think he likes the drama a little bit too much about swapping and changing the managers and trying to find it, which is mad, really, because I think he, despite the money that he's put in, probably holds them back because he hasn't got the patience to commit going forward. Get your questions in, guys, as well, because I'm going to be coming to the questions in a little bit. But if we look at what Chelsea are all about, I think the key man for them at the moment is definitely going to be Gonzalo Higuain. So Gonzalo Higuain is definitely going to be the man that United have to deal with. Now, he hasn't hit the ground running, really. 4 games deep, he's had 2 goals that he scored, which was against Huddersfield when Chelsea put 5 past them. He's not quite found his feet, I don't think, in this system, but he has shown a couple of lovely touches and a couple of really sweet link-up plays. He is going to be better suited to what Sarri's trying to achieve than somebody like Morata is going to be. And I think he's got a little bit more nous about him and a lot more experience. United need to tie this guy up. Not only do they need to tie this guy up, of course they've got to tie Eden Hazard up. And apart from that, I think their midfield is probably about par with United's. I think defensively you can get at them, but I think the midfield's good and the attack is good. Very similar setup to what United have got at the moment. Strong midfield, strong attack, defence not up to much, although they've definitely got full-backs which absolutely shit all over ours. Now, the starting 11 that I would go with for United, the starting 11 I think is going to be the starting 11 and formation that I think United should go for is this one here as follows. Little bit of a change to what we've seen Ollie do so far. We've seen him go 4 at the back, we've seen him go 2 up front, we've seen him go midfield 3, we've seen him go midfield 4. now it's time for the back three, I think, just because of the specific nature of the issues that we've got facing Chelsea and the specific nature of the issues that we've got up front in terms of a lack of personnel. So I'll go through it, and I'll go through the reason why I would play this. I don't think Ollie's going to play this. This isn't me making a prediction. This is me saying, here's what I would play and why. So I've gone for a back three. The reason I've gone for a back three is because Phil Jones, who has played right back, not mega successfully, but has played right back, and also Lindelof, who has played right back, not mega successfully. One of those two can be the right side centre-half that's able to cover into this sort of zone here behind Dalot. Because I want Dalot to get game time. Dalot needs to get game time. I've just thought, actually, it's going to be Romero in that, and it's not going to be David De Gea. So that's a mistake on my part. Apologies, I've just thought it will be Romero. But I want to see either Lindelof or Jones coming out into this area and covering for majorly Eden Hazard, but also covering defensively for Dalot. And the reason for that is because Dalot's got a wonderful cross on him. And when you've got a player who can cross the ball, Lukaku becomes an option again for us up front. So I want to see Dalot, I want to see Lukaku, because essentially there's no other options. But I don't want to see Lukaku play down the middle on his own. And I don't think it's fair on Marcus Rashford for him to be shunted over to the left wing to accommodate Lukaku, because for me, on form at the moment, Marcus Rashford, he's the best player, certainly the best forward in United's team. Pogba's probably the best player in United's team at the moment. Pogba gets a free role at the top of midfield there. Basically just go and create things. I want to see him putting balls into the channels behind Chelsea's high line, behind Chelsea's high fullbacks. I want to see Pogba putting Lukaku and Rashford. Use Lukaku to his strengths. Lukaku's still absolutely rapid when he decides he's going to move. But Lukaku on the right-hand side of their defence, getting in behind, and a cross that can come from him and a cross that can come from Dalot. Him and Rashford in the box, I like that a hell of a lot. I'd go with Lindelof and Baye, and you can switch this around either way as well, because I think Baye is probably going to be the one that deals most effectively with someone like Higuain. I think Lindelof could struggle, and that's why I've gone with three of them at the back, because I don't want to make this a 1v1 duel. I almost want Lindelof to be able to drop off and cover a bit like a sweeper and give the rest of these guys a little bit of an option. Luke Shaw's been doing all right on the left-hand side, but the left-hand side has been congested massively because of the way we've been playing somebody in that left wing kind of role. That's why Rashford, who is likely to drift inside, is going to be that left-hand side forward. Pogba then gets the free rein to go wherever he wants. And two very, very important players. Nemanja Matic, who I think was rightfully criticised in the early part of the season because he was terrible, but recently has been such a very key part of Solskjaer's team. And one that I'm loving, is a big part of this side, is Ander Herrera. Ander Herrera, what I want this guy to do is to follow Jorginho around and make him his bitch. He's done a fantastic man-marking job on Hazard in the past. This time, I want that to probably go to someone like Phil Jones, who did it to Ronaldo all those years ago, remember, in the Champions League. He can do it. He can get into that box. He can get into that area and follow someone like that when he doesn't have to be a disciplined centre-half. That's another reason why Phil Jones is in here. But Ander Herrera is going to be massively important for us. But I think the key man for United, the one that we've really got to pin our hopes on, is Marcus Rashford. Because Lukaku's not in form at all. And without Tony Marshall, you're pretty much reliant on the goals to be coming from one guy. Because I'm not sure Lukaku is match fit or mentally fit to be in the starting 11 just yet, but this is a consequence of what we've got. It's going to have to be Marcus Rashford, and I love the fact that Chelsea plays such a high line and they like to compress the ball the way they do. It's not reminiscent of City, it's similar, but it's not the same. But they do play that high line that you can get in behind of. That's a major weakness of them. And Marcus Rashford, the pace that he's got going in 1v1 on Kepa is going to be lights out for him if we get into those areas and those opportunities. And that's why Paul Pogba's a massive key part in this, because he can put those balls in that Marcus can get on the end of. Now, I know a lot of people have mentioned Chong, and they mentioned Greenwood, and they mentioned Gomez. Ollie in his press conference did actually mention both of those two. He mentioned Greenwood's injured. I'm not so sure, you know. I think there might be some fuckery afoot there, that they're sort of letting Greenwood come out of the limelight just a little bit, and maybe he'll travel with the squad. We'll have to see on Monday night. But I think you will see Gomez and Chong both on the bench, and I would hope both of them are able to feature at some point as well if the game looks like it's going in United's favour. That's my predicted 11, and that is my key player. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to be the major players for United in this game, the turning points for United, and what's going to win us this game. Now, while we're talking about Solskjaer, I've just dropped a little bit of merchandise, and you can come and get this merchandise in the link in the description below. This is the one that we've pulled out first. It's Ollie 2020, a bit of a take on the Obama American voting type things. But if you'd like one of these shirts, the run has just started. It will be a limited run, but you can find the link for those in the description below, and let me know what other sort of merch you guys are interested in having as well. There's a tie-up with Teespring. It is meant to actually be below the video in some sort of like little box, but I don't think that's quite working just yet. So there is a link in the description. If you want one of these t-shirts, head over on there and go and get yourself one. Right then, it's time to head over to the questions. Get your questions in the comments, and I'm going to head over to the guys on the Patreon group and see what you guys are saying as well. If you're enjoying this content, please drop us a like on the video. It does help it get found. All of those things, mega important, and I do appreciate anyone who takes the time to go and press that little bit of a like button. And while you're there, if you're not, press the subscribe button as well. Righty then, let's have a look at the questions. We have got, Milan says, a front three of Gomez, Lukaku and Chong. Is that possible? Gomez isn't a winger. Gomez is a brilliant number 8. Much like Mata's not a winger, you would look at Gomez and you would say, similar sort of characteristics, brilliant touch, excellent footballing brain, amazing pass, not quick enough to play on the wing. He might play on the wing when he comes on, if we're in a dominant game, because there's less pressure on looking to break with a winger when you're in a dominant position in the game, but he's not a winger. So if I'm going to play him, I'm playing him as a 10. I'm playing him as an Iniesta-style number 8 with a more energetic midfielder alongside him. And actually, a player that I didn't mention in my starting 11 was Fred. And Fred, I believe, could be important in this game, potentially more so against Liverpool than in this because of the particulars of the way Chelsea play. But United are massively going to miss Jesse Lingard's energy and press. And if anyone can do the job in this squad, Fred could be the guy to do this in this squad. So maybe against Liverpool, we'll have a look at whether Fred could fill in the hole and be that press and that link between attack and midfield as an option, as a stopgap. I don't think it's his best position. I don't think it's something that you'll see him doing very often. But in an emergency, maybe we can have him doing that. Tino says, after the result midweek, should we be more focused on the FA Cup and give a couple of youth a game against PSG? Well, I don't know if we're going to focus on the FA Cup more than the league. I think the league is what we've got to really focus on. Picking up a trophy would be fantastic, but I don't think that's going to be the decider in whether Ollie gets this reign or not. And giving youth a game against PSG, 1 or 2, maybe. But if we did a lot of rotation, if we did heavy rotation, can you imagine the damage that would be caused if we got slapped 6, 7, 8-0? I mean, this is Paris team, when they've got their tails up, as we saw against arguably our best 11, when they get their tails up, they can be devastating. And can you imagine the effect on someone's career if they go and get slapped for 6 or 7 in the Champions League knockout stages? It'd probably be pretty hard to take. And considering we've got a fan base that isn't known for rational thought all the time, they'll probably get absolutely destroyed on social as well for doing so. So I would be a bit more cautious and protective over that, even though I think that no matter what team we got put out there, we're going to get a slapping. Latido, how important do you think this fixture is going to be to the season and Ollie's chances of taking the job permanently, especially off the back of the PSG defeat and heading towards Liverpool? Again, like I just mentioned, I think the league is far more important. But it would be nice to put Chelsea away while they're in this indifferent form. I would love to see what the crack is with a United team that's able to bounce back properly. I worry about the lack of Marshall. I think he's been quality since Ollie came, and obviously Jesse Lingard's hugely important in a big game like this. So I do worry a little bit about how we're going to do that. But yeah, if we bounce back effectively, that could have a massive swing on it. I don't think we need to win the FA Cup, but I do think we need a good showing in both of these 2 games, because I think we're a million miles off Paris, but we shouldn't be a million miles off Chelsea or Liverpool. Jack says, what do you think Jadon Sancho could give us that we don't already have? Could he possibly play on the right-hand side? He absolutely could play on the right-hand side. I'm kind of sick of seeing all this about Jadon at the moment. I think he's a fantastic player. For those who've watched the channel for a few years, you know that I spoke very, very highly of the guy while he was at City and well before, and I said if he ever the chance came up, when the issues was there surrounding his contract and his transfer, if United could have get him, we should have got him. So I would have definitely gone for it if it was possible. I don't think it is possible, and there you go. I think if you got a chance to sign him from Dortmund, he's going to cost you probably upwards of 60, 70 million. And for what you're going to get, I definitely honestly believe what you've got in Mason Greenwood can be as good, if not better. He just needs games. The numbers that Mason is putting up compared to what Sancho was putting up are absolutely embarrassing at this level. So give the guy the opportunities. He's not going to do it straight away. I don't think he's going to make a debut and just score a hat-trick straight off the bat. But blood the guy into the team. Obviously, the Bundesliga is far different to the English Premier League. Blood the guy in slowly and see what he can do. Rather than wasting 70 million on someone, we've got our own that could be just as good. So I would say, let's give Mason that opportunity. Long term, Mason's going to be a number 9, but he will not get his chance as a number 9. He's going to play wide and come centrally with experience and time. Mitt says, with Lingard and Martial out, who could be the guy to break Chelsea? Could Ollie do a mad one and put Chong, Gomez and Greenwood in to rip Chelsea a new one? More so Chong, I think, is the one likely to get the nod because he's very good at the press. He's very aggressive with the ball at his feet and also when he's pressing. And he's very, very, very quick. So I think given that physical attribute, Gomez can get pushed off the ball and concedes a lot of fouls at youth level. That's going to happen when he's in the first team. You can look at that as an asset if you like, but you can also look at that as a potential problem. Greenwood has still got a couple of question marks over his physicality. I definitely think he's earned a call-up and I definitely think he's earned minutes. He's just not earned a start just yet, I don't think. But it'd be very interesting to see if 3 or all of them or one of them get any sort of a nod. Even on the bench is great for him, I think. But they do have to come on. You don't improve by sitting on a bench. Jack, what style do we have to adopt against Chelsea now that Lingard and Martial are gone? I still think we go with our pressing style. I think we've been very effective at it. I think Lukaku can probably do a little bit of a press. I wouldn't expect him to be Lingard levels of press, but when you play him in a 2, he's only got half as much responsibility of people to press as he would have if he was in a 1. So I think with Marcus alongside him and Pogba just filling in that gap in behind him and the fullbacks able to join in the press a little bit as well because we're playing 3 at the back, if he did do the system I've suggested, then I think that would be brilliant and I think he would probably shine in that a little bit as well. Olong says, what do you think of playing a 3-5-2 with pretty much what I said? Yeah, I obviously think quite highly of that, seeing as though that's what I picked. Connor says, with so many players missing, should our main tactic be a 4-4-2 diamond, Matter at the 10, Lukaku and Rashford up top, and Gomez on the bench, or put Chong on the bench so you can change to a 4-3-3? I would like to see both of them on the bench. I do like the 4-4-2 diamond, if I didn't play the 3 at the back, and the reasons I was playing the 3 at the back as well is to deal with both Higuain and Hazard, and also free us up a little bit for Ander Herrera to move further up the pitch and deal with Jorginho, because if you play him as a 2, if you play 4-2-3-1 for instance, you're going to see Matic and Herrera probably 10-15 yards further back. You play a back 3 that pushes the midfield just a little bit forward, and that allows them to be able to get into the sort of territory that you're going to see Jorginho occupying, and that's where I want them to be effective. Cut his supply and you are literally ending what Sarri can do with the ball. But I definitely think that you could find an effective 4-4-2 diamond, and that might be where Fred comes into it, and that's why I was thinking about Fred. Barbashan says, could Angel be given a chance to try and play in Pogba's place? Massive ask for a young lad, but I reckon he's capable. In terms of vision, his vision is top. His vision is absolutely unbelievable. He has so much time on the ball. The only thing that he can't do, I don't think that Pogba can do, is that physical drive from deep number 6 position into the final third and then lay that final ball off. Pogba is an absolute animal and he is a unit, and I don't think you're going to get that from Angel Gomez. From Angel, you're going to see someone that would dictate the ball from deep. Obviously nowhere near the same level of quality, but in a sort of Pirlo kind of sense. He's going to knock it around, he's going to take it and give it, and he's not going to take a tackle. He's probably not going to sprint past anyone with it. He's going to be very much withdrawn, whereas Pogba's quite an all-action midfielder. So totally different style, but I think in terms of the vision and their ability to spread the ball, quite similar. Jay says, is this next 3 weeks Sanchez's last chance at saving his reputation? Is Fred still alive? Yeah, again, Fred could really be brought into this. The next 3 weeks, I'm not sure it will be. I think it's the end of the season, but there's a lot of fans really losing patience with Fred at the moment, isn't there? These people are on the thinnest are iced with the guy. Mighty Mike says, what about Lozano in the summer? Still got question marks over the true quality of what Lozano's actually all about. How old is he now? I'm thinking he's like 26, 27, but I think I could be wrong on that. Let me just have a quick look. Is he as old as I think? Oh, he's only 23. Oh, he's a bit younger than I thought. He seems like he's been around forever. Why does it feel like he's been around forever? He scored a lot of goals at PSV, I'll give him that. But again, you don't actually truly know what the level is like at PSV. So I guess we're going to have to see. Some questions from guys on YouTube. Arturo says, problem is Sancho fits that right-hand side as a glove. Greenwood, however, is special. We need to see him. Correct. Yeah, I mean, I think it would almost feel like wasting 70 million. I mean, there was the options there, I believe, to try and get him not long ago. Someone in the comments here saying Sancho is average at best. If that's average, mate, sign me up, because I would love to be that average. How about Sancho for Chong on loan to Dortmund plus money? I don't think you can play with Dortmund like that. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be a lot more thingy. Nicholas says Sancho is City scum. Well, he's not really, because he pretty much told him to fuck off. He's not a City fan either, so I absolutely don't think that that's going to happen. And he's certainly not City scum. 4-2-2, is that an option against Chelsea? Yeah, probably is a little bit more of an option. You could probably play Mata alongside Pogba as your 2-8s. It allows you to play Matic and Herrera as your 2-6s. And then you can play Lukaku and Rashford up front as your 2 up front. So yeah, get your questions in if you've got any more questions. Would like to see some youngsters on Monday, says Aiden. I think so. I don't think they start. Certainly away at Stamford Bridge is a very difficult place to go to, so I would be cautious about saying, yeah, let's just throw them in there. We'll slap Chelsea up, no problem. Chelsea have got problems, but as you saw the way they came back against Huddersfield, they're still dangerous. They've still got some players, if they decide to turn it on, we're in trouble. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. If you would like to know more about the Patreon group, we are doing some madness in there. It helps support the channel. It helps us get good guests like we've just seen there with Wes Brown, with Quinton Fortune, and some of the others that we've got lined up are going to blow your mind, believe me. If you want to know more about who's coming on and you want to get your questions into them before that video goes live, then head over to the Patreon group. Check out the t-shirt that we've just released as well, and we will see you in the next one. Laters.